What's good? Episode 24, Relatively Speaking Pod. Back in your life after a little hiatus.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Dude, it feels like it's been forever. I was getting lonely. I came in the studio last week and just sat in my chair. No cameras rolling, just to get the feeling of being here. I just chatted with the wall.
Talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Nice.
dude, we're back. Episode 23 was now 2 weeks ago. And Jay and I haven't seen each other since then, so a lot to catch up on.
Discuss.
We both were away. I went on a bachelor party right after we shot 2 weeks ago for one of my best friends, Brandon. Shout out BMO. Oh, we're cracking it.
Yep.
We got these new Black Rifle Energy drinks that we're giving a shot today instead of the typical cold brew. This is a mango flavor. Pretty good.
It is good. 200 milligrams of natural sourced caffeine.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Veteran founded and owned.
Shout out Evan Hafer.
Yeah. These guys have blown up. And then I think it was Cam Haynes. I saw him drinking one of these and I thought maybe it was a cold brew. And I went on their site and then they had them here in town at the Safe Mart. So I went over there and grabbed us a few.
He just did a 200-mile race.
250.
250.
Yeah. Insane.
My buddy Caleb did the video for that whole thing. So he was like posting.
Really?
He was posting. They were doing like every check-in station they had set up for him, they would like do video.
Did you see the video that I sent you of it in post race? I sent it to you on Instagram.
I haven't been on Instagram.
Dude, it was
he
gnarly.
fucked up?
Yeah, he's like laying in bed. He's like in a hotel bed.
Was that his first?
No, he's like
long one.
He hasn't. I think he said he hasn't done one like this in like 7 or 8 years.
And he's 57.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. His son was like filming. He's like, all right, we're gonna go like into the check on my dad, and like walked into the hotel room and he's like laying in bed. He looks like he always wears a hat and kind of like glasses too. Obviously not always glasses, but like in his videos that you're seeing him. So I don't know if it was just like, it was weird to see him. I don't know if he was just so exhausted. His face was definitely swollen though. His hands were like super fat and puffy, and his feet and everything just from all just like water retention and stuff after like being dehydrated like that, and what you do.
Oh, because after you've been
yeah.
super dehydrated, your body just hold on to all of the water.
So he was like, he looked bad, dude.
Whoa.
But if you watch him like go through the finish line, he was like great. He was he was like signing. So there was like how I saw that it happened. Okay, so now we're jumping into something completely different. But anyways,
my bad.
Cam Haynes ran a 250-mile race called Cocodona 250 that freaking Max, King of Moab, had to get freaking airlifted out of or whatever. Yeah.
This one?
He wasn't able to finish this race. Yeah. He was in the hospital. So it just shows how gnarly it is. It's from like Sedona, Arizona or something to like Phoenix. I don't know. 2 places in Phoenix. And anyways, it looked like the finish line was like in like a downtown area. So there was like people with his books and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was like, signing books as he was like going through the finish line in like a great like mood and everything. And then.
Do you know how long it took him?
Yeah, it took like several days. Like the winner did it in like 53 hours or something, which was like insane. That he beat the record by like a very significant margin, but Cam Haynes was like not even close to like that. He finished it in like 80 hours or like something. He slept like 45 minutes in like 3 days, I think. Yeah, it's gnarly. But anyways, we can get into more of that later. I want to give a quick little recap.
Yeah.
On the bachelor party, not too much to get into on it, and then talk about you.
Wasn't the Hangover Part 4?
No. It's a little bit. These bachelor parties are a little bit different when you're pushing 35 years old, and I've officially tapped out. I'll just say that I don't think there's anyone else that I would do a bachelor party for.
Finn.
I doubt he would ever invite us.
He would.
And
I'm gonna make him. We're gonna throw him one.
that
No,
I was literally thinking he could maybe, but like I don't know that he would.
I feel that.
But
I feel that
the
for
fact,
sure.
like I was talking to my buddy Kyle, and he's like, "Dude, I can't believe that you like committed to going to that." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I don't know if." And Brandon's one of my closest friends. I've been friends with him since junior high. He's one of the best people I know. He's a literal golden retriever. There was 20 of us at this bachelor party because he's been in like 20 weddings. He's everybody's best friend. He's the sweetest kid ever. So I felt kind of not obligated by any sense, but I felt like kind of like a duty to be there for him.
Yeah.
I love the kid, so I wanted to, but I'm like, dude, I have 3 kids. I live in a place that's not easy to get to and from now. I had to have my mother-in-law stay at my house while we did this. Like, I flew down to LAX, drove to Orange County, went from Orange County to Laughlin for like 48 hours or less.
Yeah.
So, dude, let me get into that real quick. This is just as we're in the same theme of age and different stages of life. So my best friend, Alan, Alan's a very successful attorney, single guy, lives in Newport. Couldn't be on opposite paths of life than me.
But he's the sweetest guy ever. Dude.
Yes, but like
I ran
has
into him
people
at
that getting your haircut. You know, gets his groceries delivered to his house, has a guy come and cook for him,
He's the guy that Alan.
like meal preps for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meal preps or comes and cooks at his house at night?
Comes and cooks at his house
Every single
for
night.
his like no, like
for the
for
week.
like the week.
Okay. That's
That's pretty
love
gnarly.
that. That's great.
So he's like, you know, I figured I'm coming down to Orange. We're leaving to go to Laughlin. This is like a 5-hour drive. Of course, you leave as early as possible on Friday. Like people were there on Thursday golfing, not the whole party, but like majority of the people, I think, were there on Thursday. So I'm like, all right, we're getting up at like 5 a.m. We'll get out there by 10. When I land in LAX, I'm in a text now with him and his brother. I didn't know his brother was going to be driving with us. But so they're kind of trying to like figure out when we're leaving. And Alan just responds like, oh, I don't want to be like, I'm not going to be in any rush tomorrow. Like I want to like sleep in, work out, and then like leave. So I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like, well, what does sleep in mean for you? One, work out and leave. So like, you want to leave at like 9 or 10? Like, I'm like, what's the deal? He's like, no, we'll probably leave like 1 o'clock. I'm like, you want to leave we're going to get there at like 6, dude, that we missed the entire day. Like, not that I necessarily need to be there, but I like did fly down here for this. We're leaving Sunday morning. So you're telling me I'm getting there Friday night? I'm going to be there literally for Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, whatever, it's cool. Like, you know, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to spend time with him. I haven't, you know, I've been best friends with him since freshman year of high school. I haven't seen him in over a year. So I'm like, let's get some quality time in together. I slept at his house that night. We went, worked out. It was great. It was cool. But then like we go to his parents' house to pick up his dad's car, meet Alex there, drive out. So we get there at like 6:30 p.m. or something. Everyone has been golfing all day. Already been like, we were on the Colorado River. Mm-hmm. Already been like jumping in the river. Everybody's drunk. Everybody like, we're just like walking into like, hey guys, like what's up? So go to the casino that night. Not a casino guy. So that was whatever. But luckily I had another one of our real close friends, Dylan, was there with us. He just had his first baby. So we were kind of on the same wavelength. We got a room. He was there like early, so he picked out a room. So I was like, nice. So I just like bunked up with him. And
you had an Airbnb, not a hotel?
Yeah, Alan and Alex got their own hotel rooms at one of the casinos at one of the hotels. So, but I had a room with Dylan. So that was cool. But the one funny story that I wanted to tell, and then I want to get into letting you explain your trip down south. Brandon has a older brother. I'd say kind of similar in your sense of your brother, except for Chad. Brandon's brother is not a complete asshole, but like, but just totally opposites. Like you and Travis are totally opposites. Brandon and Chad are total opposites. And
just a name that puts me in a bad mood. Puts Daddy in a bad mood.
So they went out that night at the casino, and I had left way before this, but Chad was like falling asleep at the tables, and like the dealer was like telling him like, honey, like you're gonna get kicked out, like you can't be falling asleep.
Because he was just hammered?
Yeah. Oh, and it was like 2:30
Oh, okay.
at night. So he's like, he gets up and he leaves the casino by himself, and he says, this is the next day now after he's Ubered home, he woke up in a Fat Burger. He doesn't remember like getting there or anything. He just wakes up. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. and he's just in a Fat Burger and doesn't know how he got there. So when you ask if it was like the hangover, for him it was.
Wow.
Yeah. So then he just like gets in an Uber from Fat Burger back to the Airbnb. And then the next day we got up and like took the boats out, went to Mojave. That was super fun.
Love it out there,
Parked
dude.
just on a beach.
Yep.
Had cornhole going.
Little sandbar action.
Yeah, tossing beers around, jumping in the water. Like that was fun. Music playing, 20 dudes on a boat throwing a football. Like it was cool. So that was the highlight. And then I came home. But yeah, not again, never again. Only for you, BMO. So that's that.
Dang.
But and then during that time, so when I was leaving there, you were getting to Costa Mesa.
Yeah, we rolled into Costa Mesa Sunday night. We went down because we haven't been in a year.
Yeah.
Also, our favorite band, one of our favorite bands, did a reunion tour, Rilo Kiley. We got tickets for that. If you'll remember me buying those tickets on this podcast, actually.
Yeah,
panicking, trying to get them. Turns out our seats were unbelievable.
Really?
We were like dead center in the middle and like in the first like 3 rows.
Sick.
I had no idea. I was just like, I need tickets. I don't care where they are. And the seats were so good.
Nice.
We saw,
And that was in Ojai.
it was in Ojai. So we went to go to that show. So Monday we just kind of putzed around, didn't really do anything. What did we do Monday? Anyway, went out to dinner with your parents. It's great. Hung out. Saw some friends. And then Tuesday we left for Ojai at like 11. Drove out that day. And then...
Which is how far from
like
Costa
2
Mesa?
hours.
It is that far.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours because you go through, it's past Ventura. So
Okay.
it's between like Ventura and Santa Barbara.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So drove out there. Super cool. Ojai was rad.
Did Sarah get any wrecks from like Cheyenne or anything?
Yeah, Cheyenne sent us a whole bunch of stuff that
Nice.
we checked out some of them and cool vibe. Like there's a couple cool little spots. I've got some beers for us to have at some point if we ever hang out outside of this room from a brewery called Topo, I think is what it's called. Is that? I don't know. But
You went to that brewery while you were there?
yeah, they have like a little pop-up, not a pop-up, but it's like a little tap house, tap room. They
Sick.
have all their beers on tap and it's got a nice patio with roll-up doors and a little Asian fusion food truck thing that's like inside of it. It was a cool layout.
Yeah.
Think like if West Side Tap and Cork had good food in it, it would be like that. So did that.
There's a lot of good restaurants in Ojai, right?
Yeah, we went to a place called the Duchess, which is in the mornings. It's a cafe that does breakfast and pastries and coffee. One Trolls. We got there on Tuesday. Literally everything was closed because everything's open like Wednesday to Sunday and closed Monday, Tuesday.
Dang.
So we're rolling into town. Oh, where are we going to go? There's this like noodle house we wanted to try that was pho and, like Thai food we wanted to go to. Closed.
Really?
Burger place closed. Pizza place closed. Everything closed. I'm like, dude.
Dang.
I was like, are we in Reading? Like, what the heck is going on?
That sucks.
So, but this Dutch's place was open. So we roll in there at like 1:30 and the chick's like, oh, just so you know, like we stopped serving everything at 1:45. I was like, cool. It's 1:30,
Yeah.
you know? So we looked at their menu and I was like, all this food looks like it sucks. Like it doesn't look good. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, poached eggs with, you know, just looked gross. I was like, I want something, you know,
Dank. Yeah.
dank.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting coffee there and had like a piece of olive oil cake and like a brown butter chocolate chip cookie. That was fantastic.
Nice.
Cool.
Where'd you guys stay?
It's called the Capri or the Capri.
Okay. I've seen that on Instagram.
It honestly, it felt like the Ace in Palm Springs if it
Nice.
was just like a tropical oasis. Like it was great.
Sick.
So sick. The rooms were dope. They have a pool, so we hung out there.
Did they have like good bar and restaurant
They
there?
didn't have anything like that. They have like where you come and check in, but there was like stuff you could buy, like they had dad grass and edibles and, you know, stuff like that obviously we don't do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that cool. But then like some cocktails that you could like pre-made, like canned cocktails you can buy, but they don't have a restaurant or a bar. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's kind of lame. Were you able to like grab beers and bring them there?
Yeah. So what we did is, I can't remember where we went for lunch. I don't know why, whatever. We got the coffee, checked into the hotel, and then hung out there for a couple hours, and then went back into town, got dinner, and then went and bought beer from that Topo place.
Okay.
I got a 6-pack and then brought them back and just chilled there at the hotel.
Nice.
So that was cool.
And the weather was good?
The weather was great.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a little overcast when we got there. But then the next day was like full sun and like 72 degrees and super, super nice. But the thing that was interesting is people there, and maybe this is offensive, maybe it's not, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be offensive. People weren't that nice.
That's not offensive.
Sarah made a comment, which I thought was very insightful. She said, because everybody here has a dog that you have to carry. It's that kind of place. Like you carry your dog around. You don't let your dog walk. Like you carry it because it's little. There's like dog bowls out for people to drink, dogs drink water, whatever. And Sarah's like, it's so interesting that everyone here has dogs and everyone is so tolerant of dogs. But you see people running around with kids and they're looking at them like they've got 3 heads.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's so true. That if you have, you know, some high maintenance dog that's barking and pissing and shitting all over everything, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But you run in with like a kid's like screaming or grab something off the shelf, people look at you like, oh my God, how dare you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Just a weird vibe in that sense. But it was cool, like very pretty town, lots of old trees, and you know, sits like in a valley, so there's a mountain on both sides, and super
Nice.
cool in that sense. And the show was fantastic.
And
Shout
that
out.
show was Tuesday night? Or
Wednesday night.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
we drove out there Tuesday, stayed there Tuesday night, hung out all day Wednesday, went to the show Wednesday night, and then drove back to Costa Mesa Wednesday night
Went
after
after.
the show.
And what time did it end?
Like 10:30.
Okay.
We got home at like midnight. So that was, I would have loved to have stayed
One more.
or gone, but it didn't work out that way. But it was great.
Yeah.
And that show was fantastic.
Sick. Sarah loved it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. We had a really good time. And
How
then
was it getting a night away without the kids?
it was so good.
Yeah. Very necessary.
Yeah. I think we're in a point now where we can get out without the kids,
Yeah.
you know, like go to coffee or go grocery shopping or do like a later dinner out and leave the kids at home.
Yeah.
But it's just different. Like when you actually leave,
For sure.
you know, like the kids are good. They're with mom and dad. Like you don't have to worry about them. Don't even think about it. It's
Yeah.
like, and then to be in a new place and people watch. We saw, John Berthal
Yeah.
at the brewery we were at. He was coming in to get food.
Yeah, show him up on the screen, but
Yeah. And then we also saw...
he's a great actor.
did you ever watch Nickelodeon? Do you know who Alex Mack is? I'll put her up on the screen, but she was a Nickelodeon like star.
Really?
And she was also in 10 Things I Hate About You. She was the younger sister.
Can't think of
that. Her
that.
name's not actually Alex Mack, but that's what Sarah was like. That's Alex Mack. I was like, who's Alex Mack? Oh, that's a character she played on.
Oh, she played.
Yeah,
Alex
her
Mack.
name is, I'll put her up on the screen.
Okay.
I can't remember. We saw her, John Berthal, and then we also saw Tobey Maguire.
Dang.
Yeah.
Lead with Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
dude. He's freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was hanging out with the guitar player from the band we saw. We're sitting next to people and we're like, oh, you going to the show? Like, you going to the show? And just chatting with people. And at one point, the guitar player walks up and everyone's like, oh my gosh, his name's Blake. There's Blake. He's the guitar player for Rilo Kiley. And I was like, that's fucking Tobey Maguire. And they're like, what? That's Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Spider-Man.
He's just like chilling with
Yeah,
him.
he was just chilling with him.
That makes him pretty cool.
And then he sat right behind us at the show. I like kept turning around looking at him, see if he put on his Spider-Man costume. He didn't.
Dang.
But
Shout out, dude.
yeah, it was cool. It's so funny when you see celebrities in the real world and they just are regular people.
Yep.
And you can totally tell just by the way that they're dressed that they're trying to not be noticeable.
Yeah.
And then that was Wednesday. Thursday, came back, went and saw Dane at Eagle and Pig. Shout out.
Yeah.
Gave Finn a sick haircut.
Yeah. Sent me a selfie.
Yeah.
Told me that Dane did a good job.
Yeah, he
That
did.
was pretty funny.
Good to see those guys. And then we went and saw Parker and Sasha Thursday night. And Aaron had dinner at Parker's house and did burgers.
Aaron came
Yeah.
over?
Mhm.
Sick. What'd you guys have?
Burgers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Grilled and hung out, chilled with everyone.
And Friday we went to the beach and then went out to dinner with mom and dad, just the four of us, which was awesome because we literally haven't done that in like, I don't know, 12 years, I don't think was the last time the four of us went out to dinner together.
Yeah, seriously.
Went to Houston's and as we're going to Houston's, I say to Sarah, they're going to make me take my hat off.
Dude, I forgot about that.
And she's like, no, you're thinking of when we went to, because one time we went to this
I went there one time and they did. They
San Francisco
told
and
me.
we went to this rooftop bar and the bouncer's like, you got to take off your hat. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, yeah, bro, like I can't let you out here with the hat on. I'm like,
For
bro,
a
you're
rooftop
yeah,
bar?
you're kidding. Like that's a joke.
Yeah. No, Houston's is serious.
And I
about-
wasn't
and
wearing,
then-
I was wearing that Stetson hat that I always wear.
Dang.
Not at Houston's, but in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you can't wear that. I was like, fuck you. And we just left. I'm fired, dude. I'm
You're on one?
juiced right now,
this
bro.
is getting you good?
I'm
All right,
juiced.
I like that.
So anyway, she's like, no, you're thinking of that time. I'm like, I'm not. I've been to Houston's so many times because it was right by the office in Irvine.
yeah.
And we would go there after work pretty much every day with Sean and Scotty
Yeah.
and have afternoon cocktails. And that's a whole nother thing. But I remember one time Sean was wearing a hat and the chick's like, you got to take that off. And Sean's like, no, I don't. And he goes and sits at the bar and the manager comes up and she's like, oh, I told him to take the hat off. And
Stop.
the manager's like, this guy's not taking off his hat. It's fine. Because he knew
Really?
the manager, obviously.
Yeah.
And so he got to wear his hat. Fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
think one time me and Cash went there with some, and we were both wearing hats, and they're like, we're like in our 20s. They're just like, get your fucking hats off, squirts. We're just like, what? Didn't even know that was like a thing.
yeah. So anyway, as we're driving there, I'm like, I'm going to have to take off my hat. And Sarah's like, no, you're not, whatever. So we go through the lobby, like we're standing in the waiting room or the, whatever the,
Yeah.
wherever
It's
you-
once you like enter the like dining
we sit
area.
down and the waitress is like, oh, we do ask that our guests take off their hats when they're in the dining area. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was funny. And she's like, are you mad? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like, would I rather have a hat on? Yes. Can I wear a hat in here? No. Am I going to make a scene? No. Am I going to have
no.
12 beers? Yes. No. I actually had, you know what Stone Brewery is, or Stone?
Yeah.
Stone. That's in San
it's
Diego, right?
Very big.
I never had their beer before.
Yeah.
They had an IPA on tap that was really good.
I'm not, for some reason, I don't know that.
Because it's a demon beer, because their logo's a fucking freaking
A demon. Yeah. I don't know. I would just imagine as like Stone was like the first like IPA I can remember like drinking. And for some reason they've always given me headaches.
Really?
I don't know why. All their beers, so I avoid them now.
They didn't have, because they didn't have any like good options. They had like an IPA and then some, they had Peronis.
Yeah.
They had that and then one other thing on tap. And I was like,
yeah. No,
that's
like people love it. I just, for some reason, I don't know why. I've always gotten a headache, so now I don't get it. But
yeah, no, it's great because Sarah and Mom got margaritas, and I was like, I don't really want
you
a
got
cocktail.
that Hawaiian ribeye,
bro.
Legit,
bro.
Yeah,
dude.
What makes it Hawaiian?
It's marinated in like a teriyaki, soyu, and then it's
like
like
pineapple on it.
No, that's why I was expecting it to come out with like a pineapple relish, but it didn't have anything like that. But it was marinated in some teriyaki soy thing, but then they cook it and then they broil it, or they like flame char it, so it has like almost a burnt flavor, which offsets the sweetness of the teriyaki and the sugar in the teriyaki sauce.
It's able to kind of like caramelize and get a nice crisp on it.
Mine was gone in literally no exaggeration, 3 minutes. Mine was gone, like evaporated, because I just housed the whole thing.
What sides did it come with?
Baked potato. So we got,
that's dank.
Sarah and I split. They have good sushi at Houston's. We split.
Oh yeah, you were saying you wanted to. Did you guys end up going to Buddha's Favorite?
Yeah, we'll get there. We're getting there. We're getting there. You're not gonna like that review, but we'll get there.
Well, you don't know sushi, so that's all good.
Okay,
go on.
Well, podcast is over now. No, anyway, so we got that because Sarah's always loved the sushi at Houston's. So we got, I don't remember what roll it was, but it was great.
A California roll.
No, it wasn't. It was like a spicy tuna roll or something.
Nice.
I was like, we're not getting a California roll.
Spicy tuna is the go-to.
Did that. Grilled artichoke. Fantastic.
Isn't Houston's, aren't they known? I don't know about known, but don't they have really good onion rings?
I don't know.
I feel like that's at one of the steakhouses. It's Mastro's they do like an onion ring tower.
That's Mastro's.
It's Mastro's?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are dank.
Those are super good. Yeah. Anyway, grilled artichoke, sushi appetizer, and then everybody got Hawaiian ribeyes. all four of us got that.
Really?
And then Sarah.
Mom got it.
Yeah. But they got theirs with, baked potato. Pop got some, I don't know, broccoli or spinach or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
And then Sarah got hers with a kale salad. But super dank. Good time, good hangs with them. And that was Friday. And then Saturday, what was Saturday?
Saturday must have been the night you went out.
Yeah.
On a date.
Yeah. Saturday, got up, went for a run, took the kids to the beach. Sarah went shopping with.
Let's talk about the run.
What about the run?
I don't know. You weren't very happy with me for some reason after your run on Saturday.
There's HUDs with a little self-promotion. Go ahead. You share with the class why you want to talk about the run.
You went.
I said I went for a run.
Yeah, but you're leaving out some important details because I tried to talk to you about your run and you didn't want anything to do with me after you saw, your brother's success.
I know, and I still don't.
Why is that?
I'm not going to tell anyone what you did. If you want to talk about it, you can talk about it.
It doesn't have to do with me.
It does have to do with you.
So it wasn't what I did. That was standard.
What?
No, I'm saying it was Marin.
Well, first of all, you've never run a 10-mile run that fast.
100% I have. Significantly faster than that.
Where's the proof?
I did a 16-mile run faster than that in Costa Mesa.
Faster than that? You finished with...
Yeah, when I did the PR that I sent you, I was at like a under 7:30 pace. This was like a 7:40 pace.
Whatever. Fuck you. I was mad that Marin did it. You guys did a fast run. Cool. Why are we talking about this?
Because we can't just, the whole podcast can't be me telling a story about a bachelor party and then you telling a story about Costa Mesa. There has to be a little bit of a back and forth. Otherwise, nobody's going to enjoy listening to.
So they just want to see me be sad?
No, I'm saying
'Cause now I'm sad.
This is content.
Now I'm crying.
You got upset on you went for a lovely run. Was that I'm not even trying to be funny because now that was going to sound bad. Was that the only run you did or no? Did you run throughout?
Yeah, I did 35 miles last week.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah, they weren't fast miles, but I did them.
But you did 35. So you were running every day while you were there. Okay, sick. So my point in saying that was that you ran.
So we're gonna just go ahead and talk about this because this is a good topic.
Yeah, I don't
My
get
shorter counterpart has
you're
shed
holding
light on
back for
something.
some reason.
I'm not holding back. There's a tension of being proficient at something, right? So being able to do something.
You're saying you have a tension with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not tension with us.
No,
it's just
no,
a tension. Yeah. I was watching like on Garmin, you have like a relative effort. Like they have like an exercise load chart that tells you like where you need to be optimally for like improvement or maintaining fitness. Monday, I did.
You can't be watching that.
You have to, because that's how you know if you're improving or your VO2 is good. Yeah. And that's how you have to pay attention to that stuff.
Yes and no.
Yes. Well, how do you know if you're getting better if you're not looking at it?
No, are you? Yeah, but you're talking about that you're talking about like your run readiness and stuff. Like you're going to be.
No. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's just like if you look, it'll tell you your like relative effort is in the right zone for you to improve or maintain. Okay. Right. I went on Monday knowing I was going away. I was like, I'm going to do 7 today. So I did like 7 pretty fast, like 8-minute mile.
This is in Costa Mesa. Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to do that. It was like faster for me. It was like a 8:05, 8:10.
And this is on the river trail.
All on the river trail. Yep. Okay. All of them on the river trail. And I was like, oh, cool. Relative effort's fine. Got up on Tuesday, did 5. So I went to Ojai with a little bit of mileage, like in the bank kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then we're there. Wednesday was the only day I didn't run. Because I was like, I don't want to bring all that. And what am I going to, whatever.
For sure.
But I was like watching my relative effort just like drop and like, you're in recovery mode. By Wednesday, I was in recovery mode. I'm like, recovery? Like your, load focus is low or whatever. Like, and again, getting into the data too much is not good, but at the same time, it's a good baseline to know, like, is what I'm doing helpful? Is what I'm doing, whatever. So,
but you're saying that just is coming from eating and drinking?
No, that was just because the runs that I was doing was a lower relative effort because I wasn't also lifting. I was just running.
Okay.
So, anyway, by the time like Thursday afternoon rolls around, I'm like in full, like my watch is like, you're in recovery mode. Like, good job. Make sure you rest. I'm like, rest? I've done 26 miles already. What do you mean I'm resting?
Yeah.
This is insane. So I get up on Saturday and I was like, I don't know how many I'm going to do. I'm just going to run.
Yeah.
Which backfired because I didn't coconut oil myself. So I was not properly.
We don't need to hear about
No, I wasn't properly lubricated. So I ended up like chafing super bad.
Dude, it's so funny to me that you chafe often.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it was bad when.
I haven't chafed like that since I was in like high school and getting freaking sand in my trunks.
No, and it was, I don't know. It was bad. When we went to the beach on Saturday, I was just like so chafed and got in the water and it was miserable.
Oh,
but anyway.
So you were chafing on the long run.
On the long run, right. So I get to the beach. If you've run the river trail in Costa Mesa, but if anybody who hasn't, from your house, 5 miles is the beach. It's the river jetties in Newport, Huntington, like, south is Newport, north is Huntington. Get there. as I stopped to stretch.
So you stopped at the 5 mile mark.
I stopped at the I ran to the, like I was at the water.
So I'm saying at the 5.
At the 5, stopped, started to stretch, got my phone out as you texted me. And I was already just like,
just feeling like shit.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, I wasn't going that slow. I think I ended up, my average on the run was like 8:35 or something, which is great for me. It's awesome. But then you're like, I don't know if I should send this to you or not. And I was like, I sent you the picture, like giving you the finger. Cause I was like, you're going to send it either way. So you're just doing this to tee it up. So if I don't want to look at it, I won't. And then you're like, this is what me and the bully just did. And I look at the splits and I was like, these fucking assholes. And I was just like, well, have fun never running with me again. And just instantly got in just the worst mood ever. And then I was like, okay.
See,
let me finish my thought.
You take it too hard.
Let me finish my thought. So I get that. And I was like, dude, first of all, I'm being a dick because I'm making this about me. And it's not about me. That's awesome that Maren was able to do that. Like, very impressive. Obviously, as you said, for you, and I am remembering when you did 16, that was a PR, which is great. It's like, why do I instantly take this as like an attack? Like, they're like, aha, look at what we did. Like, went faster because we didn't have your ass. So to me, that was the first place I went.
and
that's not what you meant.
Nothing to do with it.
I know it isn't, but let me just walk this out, right? We got time. It's 40 minutes already. Shit.
This is going to be a very long one.
Yay. 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So I was like, well, first of all, that was the wrong mindset to have in general, because that's not what the point was. And 2, obviously you sent like that preliminary text as just that's just.
Well, I did say that because this response is fairly typical.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally, you get pissed so. Then I was like, I didn't want to not tell you that we ran, and then I wanted to brag about Maren because I was literally like blown away at this freak of a dude.
But the thing is you would have sent the text either way, which is fine.
Yes.
My point was that long way around to where I started this part of our conversation was, I don't want my first response to be,
yeah, that's good.
They're trying to make me feel like a piece of shit, because they're not.
No.
But so I like had that thought, and then I was like, yeah, but also that was awesome that Maren was able to do that. You obviously did it, whatever. It was great. So I like turn around and I'm like on my way back, and I was like, dude, it just in the worst headspace, because I was already in a bad headspace.
Oh, Jay.
Listen.
That's funny. I had no idea it was mid-run.
Yeah. So I was like, thank God I got out of bed and ran, and I was there, because if I had gotten that text and wasn't there, I would have gone straight to Goat Hill. And Goat Hill's a bar in Costa Mesa for anyone that doesn't know. And just opened a tab and then disappeared.
Well, dude, what was cool about it, full circle, is, and I mean, he obviously knows I love him, and but he was being a little bit of a bitch about wanting to run. And he's like, oh, dude, like, I don't know if I want to go tomorrow. And I was like, bro, come on. And I think a lot of that had to do with like that you weren't there too. It wasn't the same crew. He's just like, oh. So then he like, well, why don't we do like 7 or 8 miles? Like, why does that? I'm like, no, dude. We're not like, it's Saturday. And that was the other thing. I had done a lot that week. I had done 3 straight days of 10 miles, which I had never done. So then I'm like, I was actually going to ask you if you wanted to do more than 10. Now I know you're not even in the right headspace to do 10. So I'm like, dude, come on. Like, it's fine. Like, we'll go easy. We'll do whatever. So then he texted me that morning. We're supposed to meet at 6:30. It's like 6:10. He's like, bro, I don't know if I can do 10 miles today. And I'm like, you 100% can. And then he changes his tune to, no, I know I can. I just don't want to. And I was just like,
appreciate the honesty.
I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, we're going to push it today then.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude lives off of being pushed.
Right.
he loves like to tax his body, and maybe the 10 miles is a little too like monotonous for him, of just like, it's great for like headspace and stuff. So like we kind of chatted and we started off at like 8:30, and then we decreased, like we went faster and faster all the way through the 10. And after about 4 or 5 miles, we're like, all right, we're not talking anymore. And he's like, he breathes heavy to begin with, just like what he does. I don't know. I don't think he's like that exhausted. He just kind of like does.
Yeah.
So we're like going, and he's like, all right, bro, just like keep pushing, keep going faster. I'll pace you. I'll go with you. I'm like, all right. And he's just breathing heavy. And that picture that he posted, he looks huge. He looks like twice the size of me. He was wearing like a tank top, and he's just so big.
Oh, after the run, he posted a picture?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
And he's just huffing, and we're sending it.
What was the final time? Like 110, 105, something like that?
No.
115?
So the first one that he did, the first 10 mile, we took him on a month or whatever. We did 125. This was 118. So 7 minutes faster.
Crazy. Yeah.
That like quick. And
your last split was like 610 or something? 620?
I don't know. In the sixes.
Low sixes.
Yeah. For the last mile. Yeah, we pushed that last one. But regardless, it was just funny that he sent it. But I'm telling him, like, he's saying he wants to do a marathon. I'm like, bro, you're gonna realize that it, like, these 10 miles, this is nothing, dude. It's so much harder than you might think. And like we said, I totally think he can do it.
Yeah.
But he's going to be in for a rude awakening if he doesn't like do a couple of longer ones than that.
Right.
Because if you're in a headspace that 10 is going to be like long and hard, it's going to be, damn near 3 times as long.
Totally.
So it gets so tough towards the end. So I'm like, dude, I don't question your mentality at all. But like, for somebody that trains and is prepared and works hard, like, if you want to do it, we got to like step some of these up.
Which reminds me, the whole thing that started this was when we got there the Sunday of the OC Marathon, like had just happened.
Yeah.
And I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember what day it was, but your parents' neighbors, the wife, I don't know what her name is, but she's like, oh, you didn't run the marathon this year?
It's Melissa, actually.
Yeah. She's like, you didn't run the marathon this year? I was like, no, not this year. She's like, oh, I was looking for you. I was like, this is after I just like struggled to do 5 miles or something, or I don't know what it was, but I was just like, God. But it's just a thing. I think I'm obviously very hard on myself in general. And I think it's easy for me to perceive things that aren't meant to be an attack as a, like, you're dumb or whatever. I don't know. It's not. My point is that I'm being very purposeful about taking like a different approach to things, and like not because at the end of the day, if I can be completely transparent with myself and what is my motivation for anything that I'm doing, or what am I trying to get out of something, then somebody else doing something that I would perceive as very difficult, which I would perceive as very difficult, I'm just like, well, the reality is like, if I pushed myself, maybe I could do that. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know.
Well, either way, dude, and not to turn this into a TED Talk, but Let's feel like it's good and you're obviously recognizing it, but like, other people's success shouldn't take away from anything that you're doing. Yeah. Like, there's enough to go around.
Totally.
And unfortunately, I think that sometimes as humans and as men, we get stuck in like a comparison kind of like trap or a wheel, and you start to like, which in reality, it's like, dude, there's so many people that are faster than me, you, stronger, smarter, richer. Like like when people then see that, That's how you get freaking trolls on the internet. That's how you get haters, like people that just want to put other people down because they're doing well. It's like that other person's success doesn't take away. It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Right.
Like you can
exactly.
You're on your own
path.
You're on your own journey. Of course, like we're freaking best friends. So like there's going to be jabs here and there about stuff.
And
it's like, that's not what it is about in the slightest. Like me being better at this doesn't take away from you doing that. You being better at that. It's like, we all, it's all good in every sense. So that was just, I mainly wanted to bring it up just because it was funny.
And it's shout out to Marin, dude. I mean dude,
he's a beast. But so that was our Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you ran Saturday, came home, and then you guys went out on we
went to the beach and then went on a date to,
you wanted sushi, which I find funny because I feel like neither you or Sarah are like sushi lovers. I've never heard you guys like say
huge sushi lover.
Jeremy, don't say you're a huge. When do you ever eat sushi?
Since living in Reading, never.
Yeah, I know. So I've never heard you guys like talk about it. Is my point.
No, I would go. I mean, we're talking about it now, but Sean and I would go to a place in Costa Mesa called. It was on Harbor. It was called Tasamo, or it was by where the Habit is.
Okay. Yeah.
We would go there.
I've seen
like after the Cocktails at Houston era ended, and after Spencer and Kevin both left like Ascendiant, it was just like him and I. We would go to get sushi literally every day after the close. Dang. So I only ever ate sushi with him, really, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Still love it.
But and Sarah would like
Sarah would only get sushi at Riptide and do like the tornado roll, which is more of a
it's like cooked.
It still has raw fish in it, but
it's got like mostly the crunchy crab stuff on it. Yeah.
So always have had there's a spot in my heart for sushi.
Okay. So you guys going back to the beach, you wanted to get sushi. That was like a thing.
Anytime we're somewhere that is close to the water, I will always try and find some sort of like a sushi place or poke or something like that, because I love that kind of stuff. But
I knew the poke.
Yeah. Okay, so we were going to go, there was a couple different places. You had mentioned this place in Lido, which I had heard of, but never been to. Yeah. And you're like, oh, we went, or you had been there before, gone several times. I don't know. Yeah. You had said you should go. So we made made a reservation at Buddha's Favorite. And,
I need to hear this. You did, what did you like?
Didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just going to give you a review, and I don't think you're going to like my review, but I'm going to give you the review. So we get there. And it's Lido. It's like, Newport Beach on a Saturday.
Yeah, but it's not the main section of Lido. It's like totally secluded.
Well, it's like everything in that section is like packed, like, because it's like on the water between two docks where there's giant yachts and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's Newport Beach people on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it's like, just... descriptive. I want to be with this. At one point, like Sarah made a comment, some chick was out and she was just like had humongous boobs, and Sarah's just like, then the girl's literally like 4 feet tall and has boobs the size of like small watermelons, and Sarah's like, are you kidding me? Like, whatever. But it was that type of crowd.
Okay.
Like fucking fuckboys and they're,
I've never experienced that.
So I'm standing there, I'm like, what is this crowd? This is a weird, like, this didn't seem like what I would think a place like that would be, but it was very much felt like Newport Beach, rich kid.
You are, you are
there. It was like Newport Beach rich kid hangout was what it felt like. It was all 20, 30-year-old kids, that, whatever. So I was like, I don't know about these people here, but whatever. Like, looks good. So it's packed. It must be cool.
And it's obviously a sick location in terms of like you're living in Reading. Now you're getting to go sit on the water in Newport.
So that was the thing, is we were like, oh, you have a reservation, but realistically we're not going to be able to get you a table. So you're going to have to sit at the sushi bar.
Oh, so you sat inside?
Yeah.
I've never even been inside.
So I was like, whatever, sushi bar's cool. We can watch the guys like make the sushi and that's fun, whatever. So we sit down, we order, and we probably sat there for an hour with no food.
Damn, that's rough.
We were there for a long time.
Really?
And it was busy. It was Saturday night. It was busy. Like I was, whatever. It is cool. Like you guys are busy.
Did you get a Sapporo?
I did.
Nice.
And I was like, oh,
Have
I'm
you
only
ever
gonna.
had that?
I hadn't. It was
It's
good.
good.
It was good. Yeah. It was huge. It was a pint, but it was a big bottle. I was like, there's no way that's the same because we had just come from.
It's not a pint, I don't think. I think it's like 20 ounces or something.
It said pint on it. It said 1 pint. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a big ass bottle. It fills your glass like twice, I think.
Yeah. Well, he had just come from Semi-Tropic, and I had.
Oh, you went to Semi-Tropic
before that.
Okay. So what time are you talking that you went there?
When? To Buddha?
Yeah.
Favorite?
What time did you get there?
Our reservation was at
8:00?
8:30.
Yeah. See, I've never experienced anything like what you're saying.
'cause
I've
you went
brought
earlier.
Charlie there.
Yeah. No.
We've done date night with Charlie. Sat outside every time. I've got
This
usually
was
I'm there at like 5.
every other car in the parking lot was a Ferrari or a Maserati or a Porsche or it was the crowd was not the crowd. It was not it.
Dang. Yeah, I've never even seen like a bunch of young people.
So anyway,
there.
so we get there, we go, we order, like literally sat there for an hour with no food.
Dang.
So that was a bummer.
Not even any edamame?
The edamame came out an hour and 5 minutes into being there.
And are you just one beer in at this point?
Well, I was only going to have one because I had already had 2 at Semi-Tropic. So I was like, and this bottle was very intimidating. So I was like, I don't know what this is going to do to me. So
Yeah, it's just a lager. Like,
it was great, but yeah, it was fine. Whatever. Don't drink and drive, kids. That's my point. So that was like, all right, whatever. Hopefully the sushi's really good. So we got these crispy rice, like spicy tuna things.
Tell me you like those.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Loved them. I was like, all right, cool.
Obsessed with those.
Hour and 30 minutes in, we finally get that, which I'm like, okay, cool.
An hour and 30 minutes
We were
in.
there for a long time.
You didn't get those crispy sushi until 10 o'clock at night. What time is this place even open till?
I don't know. We literally didn't get any. Maybe an hour. So it was probably an hour. We sat down. We sat there for like an hour before we had any food. Probably an hour and 30 is an exaggeration. Maybe an hour realistically.
Okay, so 10 minutes.
9:30. We get the crispy rice, and then the sushi guy's like looking, and he's like, there's got to be more stuff for them.
Yeah.
And he's like, what else are you guys waiting for? And I couldn't remember because we ordered literally an hour ago. And
you did order?
Yeah, we ordered.
I thought you were saying nobody came and even took your order.
No, we ordered.
Okay.
We got crispy rice. I got 2 Philly rolls. We got this other roll called a Fireball and then something else called a Banshee or something that we didn't end up ever getting.
Okay.
So
Dang, dude.
they brought the crispy rice, which was fantastic. They brought the Fireball roll and the Philly rolls. And I was all great.
Yeah.
My only knock on the sushi was the plates were hot because they had just washed the plates and then put cold sushi on a hot plate. Can't do that. Sushi has to come out on a cold plate or it ruins it. And it did. Because with the Philly roll, it has cream cheese in it and the cream cheese was warm. It was like runny cream cheese. Kind of disgusting. But the crispy rice was fantastic. The Fireball roll, fantastic. And then there was one other roll that the guy like brought us the check and he's like, and we're like, we never got this roll, but it's like 10:15. It was late by this point. We're like, oh, it's fine. You can just like take it off the bill. So food was good. I would go back, but I wouldn't go back at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
I don't know if I've ever been. Well, I've had to have gone on Saturday night because we've done it for like dates.
It was just a weird crowd and not like we like tried to strike up a conversation with the people next to us and they just didn't. They were like, we don't want to fucking talk to you. Like,
were the kids doing like sake bombs and shit?
Yeah. The people next to us had on both sides of us had sake, but yeah, it was cool. And then Sunday we were going to go to my favorite burrito place, but it was closed. So we went to the Spectrum and Mother's Day.
Yes.
Shout out to all the moms.
Yeah.
We did, which is pretty clutch. We were going to do steaks like we normally do, but I was like, what if we got carne asada from the Mercado and did carne asada tacos and all of that because you can buy everything. Carne asada, guac's already made, pico's already made. They have the tortillas, and I was like, let's just do that. That'll be so easy. It was dank. Just made a big thing of rice and beans and had a bunch of tacos and made some tangerine margaritas for the ladies.
Sick.
And then we came home.
Sis got her margarita fill being in Southern California.
She did. Yeah, she did, which is interesting because she hasn't in the past liked tequila, but ever since she had that tangerine margarita, she's liked it. We, Monday we left. I don't think we're going to do the 4 a.m. leave anymore. We're going to do the 1 or 2 p.m. leave from there or here to go. Our kids just they do fine in the car later in the day, and it gives us time going there to do stuff here or being there. Gives you like an extra half day. Yeah. So it was cool. So we got up Monday morning. I went for a run, came back. We packed the car. Sarah had wanted to go. The camp there's like a vintage photo booth place.
Yeah, I've been seeing that on Instagram.
It's right next to Salty Bear.
Okay.
It's like probably about the size of the office here, and it has like 6 vintage photo booths in it. And she's like, hey, for Mother's Day, like I want that to be my present. I want to do like a strip with each kid, one by myself and one with you. I was like, great. So we went, got coffee and a burrito at Whip, went and did pictures with the kids in this little photo booth thing, and then drove home. And
it's just like a setup for like, how did this thing like get popular? Like,
I'm not sure.
How did she know? She just saw it on Instagram and stuff. People just going. And it's just like so right by Salty Bear. What do you mean? Like,
so Whip is on the corner.
Yeah.
And then there's that salon, and then Salty Bear, and then there's like the inconvenience store.
Yeah.
Right next to that is another suite, or there's the pottery place.
Yeah.
Or
so it's
place.
In one of those.
It's in one of those.
And then inside that room.
Inside that, there's against the 4 walls, there's 5 photo booths.
Okay.
And you just go in.
Is there like somebody working there?
Yeah, there's a guy that he's like standing at the door just so it doesn't get too crowded inside. And he's like, there was nobody there.
And
really.
How do you like pay for it?
Just
there's like a card swiper thing on,
Mm-hmm.
and so you just did that a bunch with each kid.
Yeah.
How much was it to do it?
$5. Oh, yeah. So I think I spent $50 on 5 little, however many little strips, but they're great. They turned out super good.
Did you know how to do math?
No, Sarah loved them. She was very happy with that, which is awesome.
Yeah. Are they black and white?
Yep.
Okay.
And they're good. They're better quality than the one at the Ace.
I was going to say,
but similar vibe.
From the Ace. Okay.
Similar vibe, but just more of like the tone of the dark is really rich. It's very nice pictures.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did she say she's going to do anything with them?
She's going to put them in. She wants to do like in a big frame with a big mat and like set them in there.
Okay.
And then the 2 that she did of just her, I'm going to put in a frame and put it on my side of the bed, like on my nightstand.
So she did them solo, and then you, and then each kid.
1 with me and her, 2 strips by herself, and then 5, 1 with each kid.
Okay.
Yeah, they turned out great.
Yeah, you did freaking 8 of them.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
$40.
Yeah.
Like I said.
There you go. You didn't say that. You said $50 on 5 things, which would be 25.
Well, I was close.
So
nice little week down there. We're gonna
heck yeah, dude.
Motivated
it's a nice little refreshing week. I was saying we went down what was that? February? I don't know.
March.
We went down, then you went down. I was talking to Beck and Felipe. I was saying they need to take a trip down. It's just good to get down and go to the beach.
Yeah.
Be by the water for a little while. It's like, it's like you were saying, it's something that you kind of didn't even realize how much you missed it.
Take it for granted for sure.
Yeah. And
living that close to the beach and not going. Yeah.
Sip was saying, she was like, the first thing we said when I was talking to Beck and Felipe and they were saying they wanted to go, they were like, they just mentioned like they wanted to like, they were like craving the beach.
Yeah.
And Sip was like, that's so like funny that's like and I was like, I think maybe we haven't been away from it long enough too. Cause I was just like, yeah, I don't like think of it as that. like missing the beach. I just think of it as like, it's just like such a cool place. There's so many cool like restaurants and bars and just being with mom and dad and hanging and just like thinking of it as a vacation. But then once they said that though, I was like, dude, it is so true. Like getting to just walk around at the beach and like being in that environment and being like just the weather, like,
well, we had fantastic weather while we were there. It was really good.
And how was the water? Was
warm.
It really cold?
It was like
no,
it was nice. It was refreshing.
Nice.
It was
so
hot.
Like everyone was going in. Like all the kids.
Yeah, all the kids went in. Yeah,
and you went in.
Lou got rescued. I didn't even say this. Lou got rescued by the lifeguard.
I heard my mom said that.
Yeah,
because there was like a sandbar.
I had to swim out and get her once when we were there on Thursday because she got in a rip current and was just getting sucked out to sea. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get her.
Yeah.
And she's just in the water. Help!
Literally screaming help.
Help! And I'm standing in the water. Like I'm standing on the sandbar there at the river jetty. Like she's maybe 15 feet away from me. And I'm like, Lou, zip it. Yeah. The last thing I need is a lifeguard. Well, there wasn't a lifeguard on that day.
Yeah.
But then Saturday, we ran into some friends of ours' kids. And so they were like hanging out and the two of them swam out and were like stuck like outside the breakwater. And so the lifeguard boat had to come and save them. And it was just a whole fiasco. But was
she actually like scared?
She was when I had to go out to swim to her. But this other time, I think she was just like hanging out with her little friend and they wanted to see the cute lifeguards, which you can't blame them. Those guys are studs.
Yeah.
Could do worse than a freaking Newport Beach lifeguard.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was the thing cool about this trip for us was we didn't really do a lot of the normal stuff we do, like go to all the food places. We didn't really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously went away for 2 nights and then we went on a date Saturday. But other than that, we didn't go to Hawaiian Kitchen. We didn't do like anything. We didn't go to A's. We didn't go to Albert Tacos. We didn't do
Hawaiian
like
Kitchen.
any of
That's
that
surprising.
stuff. So it was cool because it was like we literally, any of the time we had with the kids, we were at the beach.
Nice.
And it was super easy, super mellow. Made sandwiches one day.
You guys like pack lunch and like be down there all day?
Yeah. Sandwiches and or come back to the house and make like burgers or whatever. It was just super mellow and easy and didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm spending so much money being here. It felt like very easy and like, wow, this is fairly
sick,
doable to do again. So we're probably gonna go.
So that made up your mind that you're going back in August.
Yeah, we'll go back in August for my birthday and sneak away for a couple nights and go to one of our favorite spots, the Ace in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
So be our 16th.
No, 16th.
16th. Yeah, this is
Sarah,
16 years.
This is when she got confused about.
Yeah. Last year was 15. This will be our 16th anniversary. 16 years married, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have a 14-year-old at that point.
I don't know. Yeah.
Talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah, man.
But awesome. You're gonna, or I shouldn't say you, I should say Jamie is gonna have your work cut out for you on this episode, but it's good to catch up. Like I said, I feel like that's probably the longest we've gone without seeing each other. Definitely since I moved here. When we used to be the norm to not see each other for months on end. Now we're getting too used to hanging out every other day.
Yeah. It's nice.
Got a nice catch up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We will. This one will be out on Friday, the May 16th, and then we'll be back with you next week for episode 25. 25 big ones.
Yeah,
that's gnarly. All right, guys. Hope you enjoy. See you next week.
Later.